I'm not here to pitch you another sushi token that prints 8,000% APY and then rugs before you finish your coffee. Yield farming isn't the future. It's the fever dream that we had while the house was on fire. Every time someone whispers, the yields are insane right now, I hear the ghosts of Terra, of Celsius, Three Arrows Capital laughing in the background. Now, we've seen this movie, know how it ends. So let's talk about what actually matters, because blockchain is still the most important idea most people have never seriously thought about. Let's start with the original sin that Bitcoin came in to fix. In 2008, so long ago, it's like it never happened, the people who broke the world got bailed out with money printed out of thin air while everyone else lost their house. Satoshi didn't write that white paper so we could chase cartoon yields on someone else's liquidity pool. He wrote it so you could move value without begging a bank manager who can say no because he doesn't like your face. That idea still works. It worked when a kid in Nigeria bought a laptop with Bitcoin because Naira transfers were frozen. It worked when Ukrainian volunteers raised $100 million in crypto while SWIFT lines went dark. This is fact. It works every single day in Argentina, in Lebanon, Venezuela. Places where store of value. It isn't a meme. It's survival. We just forgot that while we were busy turning DeFi into a leveraged casino. Real DeFi isn't dead. It just stopped trying to look cool. Real DeFi is deliberately boring. And boring is how you build things that outlive bear markets. Picture this. Your credit isn't owned by 3 corporations that sell your data to payday lenders. Instead, your on-chain history, repayments, collateral ratios, transaction consistency becomes a reputation that you carry in your wallet. No more groveling for a mortgage because you switched jobs. You walk in with proof that you're good for it. That's Aave credit delegation today. That's Goldfinch lending to real companies in Africa using on-chain revenue as collateral. That's ARCX turning your DeFi track record into a passport. None of it needs triple-digit yields to be useful. Or think about insurance. Huge fan. Right now, if your flight gets canceled, you fill out forms and then you pray. Nexus Mutual. Have you ever heard of them? I'm going to guess you haven't. They pay flight delay claims in minutes. Smart contract checks the oracle, money hits your wallet, done. There's no claims adjuster, there's no fine print, there's no runaround. Hype cycle. It just needs to keep working when Telegram groups go quiet. Stablecoins are the same story. And I'm sure you guys all know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. USDC and USDT already today, they move more volume per day than PayPal. That's not speculation. That's plumbing. The pipes are laid. Remittances are already eaten. Western Union is a museum piece compared to what people do on their phones in El Salvador or the Philippines. You don't need a Bloomberg terminal to see it. You just need to talk to someone who sends money home every week. But the deeper shift is just getting started. Programmable money that actually does what we said it would. We have spent a decade out here saying code is law. Most of the time, what we meant was code is a slot machine. But now we're finally building the part where code actually enforces rules that humans cannot bend. Do you want a loan that can't be called because someone in a suit woke up cranky? Over-collateralized DeFi gives you that today. Do you want a savings account that can't be frozen because you posted the wrong opinion? Stablecoins plus a decent wallet give you that today. Do you want payments that don't leak your entire life story to a data broker? ZK proofs and private chains are shipping right now. None of this requires you to be a genius. It just requires the system to stop treating you like a liability. That's the revolution we keep postponing because we're addicted to green candles. The biggest lie of the last cycle was if you can't stomach 90% drawdowns, you don't deserve the upside. That's not toughness. That is trauma bonding. Mass adoption doesn't come from turning grandmothers into leveraged traders. It comes from products so simple, they feel like Apple designed them. And we're finally getting there. Wallets that look like Cash App. Chains that cost pennies and settle in seconds. Stablecoins that feel like dollars until you need them not to. Yield that comes from actual cash flow instead of printing more governance token nobody wants and nobody asks for. Layer 2s aren't just cheaper Ethereum. They're the difference between a demo car that only runs on a closed track and something you can actually drive to work. Base, Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, ZK Sync. Fees are down to fractions of a cent. Finality is instant. That is the sound of normal people finally walking in without bleeding gas money. And when normal people don't show up, you got nothing. But when they do show up, they don't want to farm. They want to save. They want to borrow. They want to pay. They want to invest quietly, safely, and privately. Privacy is the feature that we keep treating like a side quest out here. The same crowd that screams, "Not your keys, not your crypto," is totally fine with every transaction being public forever. And that works great until your boss sees that you donated to a cause that he doesn't like, or until a chain analysis firm sells your spending habits to an insurance company. And we have the tools: Railgun, Aztec, Nocturne, ZK, everything. We just need to stop acting like privacy is only for criminals and start treating it like oxygen. Because here's the part no one ever says out loud. This was never about making everyone rich. It was about making power expensive again. Centralized finance isn't bad because it has offices. It's bad because it can freeze your account for wrongthink, deny you a loan because of your zip code, or print trillions to save its friends while telling you inflation is 2%. Blockchain doesn't cure greed, but it makes censorship costly. It makes seizure hard. It makes "because I said so" mathematically impossible. And that's worth more than every yield farm that has ever existed. So if you're still refreshing Dex Screener, looking for the next 100x food token, I'm not angry. I'm just done waiting for you. We have a chance to build a financial system that cannot be weaponized against the people who need it most. A system where rules are code, not mood. A system where capital flows to builders instead of extractors. Yield farming, that was the training wheels, and it's time to take them off. The real game is happening in the quiet corners. On-chain credit scores, instant parametric insurance, self-custodial stablecoins, private DeFi, programmable corporate cash management. Real yield from real cash flow. That's not the casino. That's the new operating system. And the code is already running. The only question left, are you going to help write the next chapter, or are you still waiting for the next carrot to sprout?